The cryo just like said, fuck it, we ball, and walked out instantly. So now Jake has to walk up by himself. Oh, he gets to go out with the coach. All right, let's just make the coach go out by himself. Dude, that's 100 Thieves' fault, dude. The snail, okay. Breach lost a lot of value when people started moving to double controller compositions because it's really easy to block off his flashes. I like Neon on the Lotus, though it hasn't seen as strong as Jet Ray's options. So it seems like Doug is filling in because he was around for Game Changers yesterday. I don't know if him and Baller are doing the second match. Wow, Cryo doesn't give a fuck. Love that for him. I mean, it didn't work out, but love that for him. I've commonly seen issues with teams trying to force B site. And like all levels. Stellar just walked by it? Very ambitious of Stellar goes for this. Whoa.
Now two members meet weak on the side of Cloud9, and Jake and Leaf. You see the utility set up, they start to flood out onto the side. Ping the tip of the spear with 53 HP, spotting the first and falling at the hands of Zeppa. And it's traded right back at Stellar.
Oh, the transfer! Wow. Yeah, really rough timing from 100 Thieves. They tried rushing into B site and just got gunned down, man. Jake winning that fight over Cryo actually was so huge. Really good paranoia by Jake. Wow. 100 Thieves does not look good on this map at all.
There's definitely some similarities there. You see this crossfire set up and
so like,
and I think they know that Leaf is there as well. So yeah, he's gonna have to tuck tail and get away.
bold choice by Leaf go to high plat instead of just running a safety there. 2 rounds in a row that running it down B is not working for 100 Thieves. I would love to see them abandon this strategy. Obviously, this is their eco round. It just doesn't look good. And also, I understand the logic behind double initiator comp and single duelist. Or, I guess the single smokes would be the bigger point. Obviously, you have a lot more scouting material. Yo, Vita, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. You obviously have a lot of scouting material. You have a lot of impact for getting onto the sites and stuff. But it's so nice to be able to just deny vision with double controller. You can hold map control so much more easily with double controller. Getting it is easier with double initiator, but holding it is easier. And honestly, getting map control on this map with it being so spread out and wide, I think it's a lot easier than like a two-site map. So you don't really need 2 initiators. It feels like overkill. How's that going? Which going? The single controller double initiator? Not well. If Rooney got killed, that would have been miserable for them. So Cloud9 just like willingly challenging C Long. Good answer back and follows. Willingly challenging C Long against the double initiator competition is a little tough. That is like the strength of the double initiator is that if people want to challenge you, you're just going to have more utility to fight back and end up winning as a team.
That's how the saying goes. Yeah, I think so.
Well, it's gonna be one way anyway, Stellar. All good, dude.
He's playing just on the other side of the wall, and he slipped through. Note, there's no lock, there's no alarm bot, there's no turret to push this fight.
All right, there is a prime example for why Omen is meta on this map. The one way on A and C entries or lobbies, I should say, very strong. Cloud9 pushing out anyway. We don't care if you have double in a shader comp. We're gonna push out against you with no resistance. Though this should be like a good time to do it. Leaf, when the fight is massive, doesn't want to run into two initiators flashing him when challenging from flank. So just trying to regroup to the team. Being able to sprint, we'll be able to get back to the team really fast. Austin is wandering out all alone with no info whatsoever. And this is a problem of only one controller, is you can't smoke enough things. There's so many angles. This very widespread out map.
So impressive what these players have been able to accomplish. They fit into the team beautifully.
You can't isolate well enough with one controller. Dude, honestly, if I think he's doing that, they're going to get... it's going to be a hot O2 for them. You can't just, like, smoke two areas off, leave a lot of openings on the site, and just wandering one at a time. Like, it just doesn't work. Players at this level are too good at clicking heads.
Lockdown use B. Trying to create some space for the attacking side.
And specifically, nice positioning here from Cryo and Bang too. The Trailblazer though, stopping things a little.
Wow, they confirmed nobody actually committed, and they'll instantly rotate to A site. That's so smart by Cloud9. Wow, that's so smart.
The reads are beautiful. At what point is Asuna going to decide to use the Rolling Thunder?
Here. He has a lot of tools.
I love using Rolling Thunder from tree door.
There's the Rolling Thunder. Gonna pave the way. Is it gonna hit anyone? No, I believe that hit the two.
But that leaves Leaf alone, the angle he used. Actually not stoked about this. Leaf's gonna get this kill.
That's the spike once again. Sitting in no man's land. They have to get through it, and then they
Wow.
have to clear a tree if they want to get the spike back. Then they have the lockdown. They're gonna have to navigate too. This just spells disaster.
They just keep wandering in one at a time, dude. What is happening? 100 Thieves UK?
You can sense the chaos and the frustration. He's been left in a position surrounded, ambushed. And despite running a double flash composition,
It really feels like they have no idea how to play Lotus. Like,
they just aren't being
that's
able
2 rounds in a row. They just wander in one at a time, completely disjointed from each other.
and despite getting into the site, they didn't
Dang.
control, you know, the surrounding areas. Just got
There's no layered utility.
The crazy thing too is
They're not swinging together. They're not even standing near each other. They're not looking at the same... Yeah, call a timeout. 100%.
imagine another round where Cloud9
Come on,
is
Mikes.
different and they decide to play up aggressively on A.
Tell your team to stop playing ranked and play VCT.
First round.
it could be
Holy.
Thieves, yeah. As dominant,
The read by Cloud9 was sick, though. Like, all things considered,
they just look like they're
100 Thieves, yes, they look really bad.
time and thought into what
But also,
adapting their composition.
Cloud9 looks really good. That's why it's so dominant. It's not both teams looking bad. Cloud9 is looking really good. As far as
Onto, you know,
holding angles for each other, like, as far as rad angles, but, like, those are valid angles.
What do 100
Angles that
from the
isolates
100, the Rolling Thunder
targets as
first
well,
round?
and certain lines that
Doesn't have that here.
they're not exposed to multiple angles at the same time, like how Jake tucked in a way they can look at both swing outs locations.
Asuna was spraying into C, but not just that.
The read to rotate to A site there after the lockdown happened, they used a Trailblazer to re-clear. Nobody's in smoke and the lockdown happened. That means they are falling off and we need to rotate. They didn't push through the snake bite dark cover. Therefore, lockdown is used up. They're going to rotate. Live utility. Good Nano Swarm pop, actually. I love the early Nano Swarm pops. People wait way too long to pop Nano Swarm, especially like in ranked lobbies. Unlucky that shot out.
No, and he's been so patient.
100 Thieves actually working together. A miracle.
You've got Leaf with ult. Do they choose to use it? 3 members, 2 in tree, and then what just on the other side at half wall? Cryo not able to find the first. Can Asuna do something different? as he trades it right back.
Now Austin is on an island again for some reason.
Now a 3-2 number still in favor of 100 Thieves here as they have a good shot at winning this round.
This Poison Cloud is so oppressive.
And Jake left alone.
I don't think Rooney expected to be a 3-people tree. I'm not sure why you wouldn't expect 3 people to be a tree, because they can clear the rest of the site and Jake's already pushed out. And that'd be a horrendous post plant if they were that far away.
The difference being that they managed to get into good post plant positions. I mean,
Does he live? No! Yeah, I blame the team. I blame the boys. Alright, 100 Thieves got that round, but it was definitely really scrappy. Didn't look clean at all.
They leave Jake at A.
They luckily picked the site that was left weak from C9, despite being stalled out. Still was the open weak one. And then they still kind of played isolated in the post plant. They did group up in tree, which was nice.
I think this was also intended to be exploratory from 100 Thieves, right? Apply a little bit of pressure, get Derek in a spot where
Like
and then use it. Now
Cloud9 jumped the gun a little bit. They could have actually played a little more tight between Jake and Rooney. Cleared out here first, and then go back into the use the spike shenanigans using that Poison Cloud.
And it is going to tag a couple of members, so there is a false sense of information.
Cryo not selling a B hit very well.
at the same time, though, alarm bot triggered over on C, and Zelsis
I mean, obviously he did it best you pretty much can as a jet, but
clears out B as well. They're pretty confident this isn't going to be a pivot. It's going to end C.
God, Cloud9's reads are so good. They saw the Seekers push them back from A. They heard Cryo tailwind back from B. And they're like, all right, boys. We saw them fall back from A and fall back from B at the same time. And we've only confirmed like 2 to 3 of them. Let's just rotate C. Surely they're trying to sell for a C hit. They're all there and just had a beautiful crossfire. Amazing to me that double initiator composition, they're still not able to actually punch into a site. One smoke just destroyed their entire team when they have 2 initiators. That's actually kind of wild to me.
Interesting the way the pathing worked out. The setup is there for Cryo. He's able to get an opener and a second.
Oh my, I thought surely his up would kill him.
Wanted to set Cryo up.
Alright, Cryo got more than I think he should have there. Overheated slightly in a way that Zephyr didn't expect, then it continued overheating and Rooney punished him. Yo, those are upgrades. This is a round one for 100 Thieves.
And there's where a measure of confidence can be very beneficial. Overwhelming.
Derek's going to want to try to get that gun.
Surely
I don't think it would help.
Nobody getting that rifle is actually so problematic. Leaf doing a great job of keeping them off of it, but he's still walking into a crossfire.
Oh no. What was that? 1v3 here. Jake falls. Wow.
Upgrades, upgrades. Dude, Cryo won them that round so heavily. That's crazy.
Finally having a moment where he's able to
Big pop-off moment.
flex his muscles on Jet. That's what they were trying to do on the pistol.
That's the first time in a long time I've seen a B punch actually work. And they didn't even say they pivoted.
Has explored previously. It was just
I knew somebody who, this was like 2 decades ago, somebody who made their living with just grinding EverQuest and selling items for real life money. He had 6 computers all times. 4 computers were like market set up because you only have 1 account active on a PC at a time. So you had 4 PCs selling stuff at all times to set up as markets. You have to be live in game to sell. You can't just be AFK selling like offline or something. And then you had 2 computers alternating between raids and stuff to gather items. And that's literally what's his job. Nice fight by Stellar.
This means that the entirety of 100 Thieves are going to be playing the spot. What is that shot from Derek?
A little bit of lucky shot. Good crossfire by 100 Thieves. Wow, they are working so much better together now.
the fake and the reposition. Cryo gone hunting, looking.
Good clear with that shorty.
But they know he's not on it.
Oh, that's loud. It's not
Oh my god.
I mean, that was a difficult situation regardless for Rooney, but well handled by Cryo.
And that's now
Dude.
2 rounds
100 Thieves looking so much better after our tech pause.
off the back of Breach
They're actually working together and actually layering utility. This is a overall attack favored map. It's not as drastic as like how like Split was the defense favor originally, which was like 55-45 or something like that. Lewis, I don't know the exact numbers, but it feels like a 51 or 52% win rate for attack. It does seem like favored for attack.
This is one of the situations where previously we've seen 100 Thieves contact in, and I was worried about
100 Thieves being very cautious. A really awkward start to the round because of how the timeout ended at 1 second. It's kind of like throws off your vibe. You don't have like that like 3, 2, 1, let's go at the start of the round. It's like and go. It's just weird. Rooney really taking advantage of it, trying to step over, but falling off after the layered utility. 3 flashes used so far this round by 100 Thieves. So get one of those back just right now.
You know that they're on an eco, they're much more likely to gamble stack. And the Seeker's being used here.
Seeker's dropped by the main map's bugs. Okay, they just showed up at B. Okay.
Do they commit to it? I don't know if the panel's broken or not, but it seems like, yeah, they just went through it, so they are going to flood into B. And all of Cloud9 is already here.
Dude, 100 Thieves doing so much better at layering utility, but I think Cloud9 realized that in their tech pods discussed, like, okay, they're actually layering utility. Let's hold off site for a little bit, let them blow all their util, and then fight afterwards. And it seems to be working so far. Still poor weaponry for Cloud9, but they're systematically challenging, and Cloud9 Thieves, again, is just really disjointed, man. They have no utility to clear this out and have to push right through, and he's just going to stick it. Wow. Dude, Cloud9 just being way ahead of the curve over 100 Thieves this game. The reads were immaculate this entire time. They still are for being at the site. And now that they realize 100 Thieves is actually working together, not being disjointed and actually laying utility, they're just being passive on site and not actually fighting. Earlier, they're like, we're fighting because they're just disjointed and like they're playing so isolated, so heavily. So they just met them and fought them through the smokes and stuff like that. But now they realize, okay, they're actually getting onto the sites by layering utility properly in the past couple of rounds. Let's now just hold and not fight for the site. We'll let them burn utility, and then we'll fight for site afterwards. Because 100 Thieves is still choosing post plants. That leaves them really spread out, and they can't play off each other very well. Especially because of the double controller comp, which is why it's one of the meta options here. And I say is the best meta option, double controller. You can so easily isolate people. 100 Thieves can't answer it back because they're using smokes to get on the site. They don't have smokes to the post plant, so fights are dictated very easily by Cloud9. Does feel good to get big wipes. Save like any BR. I don't know why it's so like satisfying compared to like any other game. Wow, that was clean. Oh my, this Jakey guy. I know it's pronounced Jake, but Jakey just flowed better in that sentence. Wow.
I mean, you imagine the comms in situations like that. You've got the lockdown, you got to navigate. You're trying to figure out timings. Oh, the alarm bot spotted me. I wasn't able to smoke it off. But you're right.
That's why he's the big bean and not the little bean. I like this Viper wall a lot.
We may go a full half without seeing Leaf Soul.
It's almost entirely just for C site, but it's also like you might as well pop it for B so you can have people walk out as well. Whoa, aggression from Leaf. They ran right past him. Derek was not spotted. The tuck from Derek, man. They confirmed people push out C long because that was popped in front of Bound. So like, okay, we just got a 2-for-2 trade. There's at least one person C long. If we fight for A, then it'll be a 3v2 at, or 4v2 at worst. 2-for-1 trade, sorry. A lot of Killjoy utility has popped early again, so it's going to stall them out. Wow. 100 Thieves still just kind of like slowly wandering on site, which I isn't like bad. Obviously, you got to do due diligence to like clear things out, but they didn't even fully clear A site. They're still taking a lot of like risks. I think they just assumed it would be 2 people C. And since Jelsa showed on stairs, they just assumed it wouldn't be anybody A. I have to shock the drop just in case Celsius try to instant rotate to there. That was a very early Rolling Thunder. They could not capitalize on that at all. Especially since the Poison Cloud drop there is so common for Vipers to do post plant.
Love the way that Rooney is using his
Very early Rolling Thunder.
choose his timings to fight in tree. What a beautiful half by Cloud9.
Taking us into halftime. Let's look at that one more time, Josh.
Yeah, I think
This is not where we want to look. We want to look earlier.
They're able to take care
So Seekers clears them all in Shri.
ready to go. It's been a key to their success. For 2 of the 4 rounds that they won, can they secure
I think they got scared that they might push them Shri or something. What?
starting to funnel there as well. You can see the Rolling Thunder. It's propped, it's ready to go. It's been a key to their success.
They saw one more.
You can see the Rolling
Yet the Poison Cloud's already up. There's no tap on Spike. You clarified that Viper is stairs. So at most is one person on site. You're Rolling Thundering one person who you can't even punish for being hit by your ult because one, there's a crossfire from the Viper that would be there anyway, and also the Poison Cloud is also there. You can't just run through that willy-nilly. Snake Bite's down as well. I actually can't see that through the cloud, which is why they dropped it here instead of like further deeper in. So people try and run through the cloud. They're like, oh, I got hit by a Snake Bite. That sucks. Yeah. Jump the gun.
was that a bit too
Dude,
the fact that Asuna had
Cloud9 is just simply ahead of the curve this map. This map at the very least. 100 Thieves have looked rough on Lotus before, and I think they're getting exploited harder and harder as they keep playing this map. That was their attacking half. They're down 4-8 on their attacking half. That's a yikes. In a double initiator composition, yeah, this ain't going to look pretty on the second half.
timing is everything, right? Looking to take a fight directly against Leaf over here at C to begin.
Leaf's already gone up. The fault line perhaps a little late in every single shot. Misses.
So much early aggression from C9. It's going to be 4v3 overall. Bang's the best effort he could do, but it's going to be 3v2 overall for C9.
And the way is open on C.
Just a numbers game. The mound and the walls for the choke point entry make it a little bit easier to dodge the utility used by Asuna.
Gonna work for them.
Yeah, borderline impossible, you'd imagine.
Stella might try and take a timing here.
He saw him, he spotted him, he dropped him.
The dangers of challenging C lobby without good util.
Maybe not, but when you're facing 3 guns and that's gonna hurt, that doesn't feel good. He's gotten it down to it.
Wow.
It's a very good try by Derek. But just too many people
Close.
opposing him. The 1v3, not quite manageable. What a start there for the
It's kind of like the gamble they take for like hard challenging lanes. And that's why you see Viper so commonly a meta choice for this map. Is if you just drop that talk to screen for C lobby there, if you go to challenge it and you see that there's like 5 people strong here, like there are like a lot of the enemy team here, walls up, reality, you know? It's going to be an unlucky round for Derek. Solo anchoring aside as a Sky with low utility. There's at least one person here. I'm out.
You wonder here with how much space they've taken. They really have
Slightly worried he might give a bulldog away, but he's also hearing everybody from 100 Thieves.
That's why Leaf's playing a little more passively on this angle. And Rudy's nearby. He can like re-challenge and re-hit.
Rooney hit that shot onto Derek.
No. There we go.
So weak.
100 Thieves has no option to win this round.
Want to get through this cleanly, and they do. Rooney with
They walked on the site and then just got cornered by C9. Like they tried to like rotate on the site and flood in, but they didn't have the allowance of fanning on the site properly. I feel like you have to play Viper in this map, man. This feels like a icebox situation. Viper Omen or Viper Harbor just feel like required.
oh, that's free from Derek spamming through and getting 2.
Personally, a big Viper Omen fan for this map. Vipers for control and Omens just for like challenges
Seems like 100 Thieves are equalizing at least in this round. Still 2 guns left in the hands of Cloud9.
for the entries.
And Bang under pressure. Cryo's close by, but he can't really help here. Bang was left on an
Dang.
Could be a disastrous round for 100 Thieves.
Belief distraction. Derek doesn't want to burn the guiding light to
Cryo and Derek on that angle. It's possible they could have
oh, the timing, dude.
They have no idea that they're just ahead of it.
That's rough timing for Derek.
But for Leaf and Zelsis in a 2v3. They might have to make a play before the spike gets planted. All right, Zelsis goes for it. And Leaf's looking for the pick to equalize.
Good patience by Stellar.
Make it more winnable. I like the play, but again, looking in the wrong direction.
I respect it. They leave Zelsis alone with his 38 HP left in a 1v2. The high-low a bit too much as they continue to scale forward. Zelsis happy to play time and try to isolate the gunfights. It's just too much.
I like that he didn't even bother you dropping the alarm bot.
But 40% of 100 Thieves rounds have just been spam through smokes.
It's true.
So, you know, maybe
If it works,
yeah, just spam a bit better. You know what?
just spray harder, man.
It's true.
I'm not sure that those ones.
Sideshow spitting facts.
But at the same time, always worth doing.
I feel like guiding light through A main would have been more value than through B. B is so like tight on the corners. It's easy to duck a guiding light and be like unfortunate timing. Whereas guiding light up in the sky for A lobby, like it's so much easier to get a confirmation pop. Cloud9 not giving away as much hard info as 100 Thieves did when they fall off sites.
Can they convert when it matters most? When you get to the site.
They're leaving the Viper anchored. They're leaving the Omen anchored.
Really nice position, and they have the Seekers used a little bit later.
But they're still not getting hard info. Like, they only seen like 1 or 2 people each site.
What a play!
Really good push up by Leaf.
Was a 1-for-1.
There's 30 seconds left right now. Stella falls though, and that's all the killjoy utility down.
Big moment from Bang. Bang has to get the kill here.
Now leaving spawn, and they're
No smoke available.
throwing a pause on it. Celsius is gonna have ult. They're gonna invest the lockdown.
And they don't have time. They've got to go.
There it is. Lockdown invested. 12.
I raised the stream body a little bit.
14 seconds left in the round. Bang. Trying to anchor.
Bang!
How the heck does Rooney win this? I don't know that he can.
He's got 4 seconds. I'm not sure he even got that. That might be a couple milliseconds off.
How? Oh, it didn't.
He didn't.
Wow.
Close.
Incredibly close. Even
That
though
was
he'd been put into a 1v1,
milliseconds off, dude.
possibly could have been good for it. That was a scramble from Cloud9.
That's like 0.05 off or something. I love the lotuses.
Whenever I see the little
Is it lotuses? Lotus Eye? Lotuses?
It is a
Lotus?
I suppose.
What's the
Yeah.
plural of lotus?
I mean, you don't see too many civilians wandering around Lotus, do you?
Imagine lotuses.
The bustling metropolis that it is. Couple pistols, a mix buy for Cloud9. And leaves
Nice
the
challenge by
ball.
Bang, dude.
Going up.
Bang the hero of 100 Thieves.
Starting to see why he's the highest rated player on 100 Thieves so far in America.
Bang also was also impressive. Is he's like the secondary IGL for mid rounds. Stellar is the primary IGL for the team, but he's like the pre-round IGL. When it comes to mid round, Austin is actually the primary IGL for mid round. And then Bang secondary, Stellar's like third IGL. Cryo is pretty much silent and only says things when he needs to say things. Derek will like do the same and also be like, hey, nothing's being said. Hey, Austin, what should we do?
No doubt about it. Dude, Bang is just locking things down. Remember, Bang in this, what's now a 3v1 here, Zeppo with nothing but a frenzy. Drops. Remember, down sight.
Solid anti-eco.
2Ks, 3Ks.
Wasn't a ton to talk about. Bang honestly just like winning the last 2 rounds. So they won the anti-bonus. Right on, sure. And then Bang just stepping up 2 rounds ago, and then they had an anti-eco. But how long can Bang be stepping up, you know?
We saw in the previous half Jake with a very aggressive ult as well. Given the nature of the map, I wonder if there's a little bit more room for playmaking.
Perfecto.
But we'll see.
The Strat's up across by Rooney. Or Jake, sorry. The other controller.
So Cryo is going to be out of these rounds completely. You know,
Those wood wings are so strong. They're not aggressively. They are trying to aggressively fight for A main for map control, but if it's answered back, then they instantly fall off and just try to hold tree. Nice spam though. Bang hasn't really stood there before. Just unlucky decision timing.
How did he get that? He might get a second. He is gonna get
Dude.
the op that you mentioned that was on the opposite side of the map now just has to sit quietly.
Zeppa does such a good job. This is going to be a save. Zeppa does such a good job of like just borderline not overheating. So he's still ready to fight, but he's like not quite overcommitted to the fight on an overheat. So the people he's fighting against, like that second person or whatever, right? Like he gets the first kill and that second person's trying to trade. He's like just shy of overheating, so he's just narrowly safe enough.
They go towards
But then as soon as like the other person tries to challenge him
even if Cryo is trying to opt there,
to then like
he's going to be cut off by Viper Walls. There's no way that Cryo's going to be able to get a good angle over on A.
have that tempo read of if they are overheating, I challenge him now. He's not there. Okay, I'll fall off. And I assume that he went to play safe. And then Zeppa strikes and like catches him off. So like he is here. A lot of people just go back up on the rope and overheat. But he sits and stays still, just a little bit narrowly, and then pops up on the rope a second later.
But like I'm saying,
And Stellar wasn't ready for it. Like, Zeppa does that so often. He does on Pearl a lot too. Like, he just has positioning and timings on like some of these battles. Like, he might be the best Pearl player in NA. Cloud9 is not giving enough information for 100 Thieves about where actually they're hitting until they're actually hitting it.
This is fine.
So 100 Thieves isn't allowed the opportunity to have those hard reads for rotates as well as Cloud9.
Look at all of the Viper utility up in his face.
Dang it.
Doesn't know where people are going to peek from.
Then they're going to dark cover stairs.
Any point here, he might just have a sky
And now this operator is completely useless.
You know, how is he getting
All this
out of here?
layered
Have to hit
smokes.
something really solid on a very small angle as Cloud9 get into the site. This is where Cryo's tested.
Not even just small. I mean, presumably aggressive as well. I don't know that he can just continue.
Seekers are available for Zeppa.
Best position for him to be playing, though. He can dodge
So
it.
this is the one time Cloud9's actually gave him a lot of info and then stalled. Thief dumped 3 agents worth of utility to A site
Rotate off.
Cloud9 avoid it. They're playing avoid Cryo. Get
and then
him
just
out.
instantly punched to B,
It's working.
reading that 100 Thieves is going to read into the information that they gave them. So Cloud9 is still ahead of the curve.
Plan on B.
Like, yeah, we're going to give you all this info so y'all can over-rotate. But we know you're doing that because that's what we planned for, it seems like. It seems like they planned for this.
We saw how ineffective that was previously.
All right, so there was some base towards Hobbit.
Paranoia is traded, and the one from the attacking side seemed to hit a whole lot more.
100 Thieves has no angles to work with whatsoever. Rooney's rotating for his own angles. 100 Thieves is walking into a kill chamber, dude. They're literally being triangulated.
But also look at Rooney. He's
Okay, big kill by Austin, though. They at least cleared Hobbit, but Rooney's in a perfect position.
Everything, yeah, he gets 2.
Dang, dude.
For Cloud9 as they get to map.
100 Thieves just slowly walking into a kill chamber and kill often succeed in one of the avenues, but there's still 2 they left exposed.
IGL lurk. And also
That was a beautiful lurk by Rooney
perfectly
at the same
away from
time.
100 Thieves' efforts.
So not stoked about their 100 Thieves play, but also stoked about how well Rooney played that.
From Cloud9. And Rooney's timing on this, it couldn't be better.
He ran all the way to spawn, and then all the way around A into their spawn and came back in. But because he did such a wide angle, he just sprinted it and was not on audio at all for 100 Thieves.
Cloud9 looking to deliver the final hit on 100 Thieves.
Rough start to the round for 100 Thieves. Not fighting for A lobby as Omen because Omen can just TP back. Austin Bang has no idea but gets the kill anyway. What a god, dude.
Be decisive. If Bang can hold on and deliver a
Bang's
bit more-
insane.
The spike's not even there.
No, I think they're just going to pivot away.
But look at where they've left Leaf. Any kill he gets here is icing on the cake.
Info. That's great from Leaf. It still makes it feel like there's presence over towards A. Draws out the Trailblazer as well. I mean, Cloud9 are making this feel
Wow.
like there's a lot of presence over on the A side of the map. And instead, they're crunching towards B.
Great by Derek.
They also just hit the door.
Beautifully spotting and just able to fall off.
So many mind games being played here. Where is the hit gonna end
Yeah, a
up?
lot of the utility is dwindling for 100 Thieves. It's going to get harder and harder for them to win this
Derek
round.
find an entry, spamming through a smoke.
They're down a man. They have 1 dark cover.
From the angle as the lockdown
An overheal I don't think any team has used so far. Like,
Landed by Zeppa.
I don't remember seeing either team use the overheal this entire map. It might have happened off screen or something.
Derek looking for the first angle, not able to deliver.
Derek had to go for hero play because of down players. And therefore, Bang also had to go for hero play. So you can't just group up as 3 because they'll just be as 4.
Once again, find themselves up 1-0 in the series.
Great map by Cloud9.
display of Cloud9 picking a great map, adjusting their Lotus composition.
The 3 rounds they lost on offense,
Rooney as
a
well.
bonus, fair enough. An eco, fair enough. And then Bang popped off with insane shots and really creative positioning. All right, well, fair enough. Good round by Bang.
Can't help but wonder if that's gonna be a bit of the
Take a timeout and discuss what to do not let that happen, and they came back and strong and did it.
odd ways out calling Stellar even late into the game.
So
You expect
essentially a near flawless half, all things considered. You lose the 2 disadvantage rounds by economy, and that's fair. You know, you kind of just expect that anyway. So then besides that, they drop 1 round. As far as defense, even more impressively, they were up 8-4 on defense. Anyway, recap of that game. Basically, 100 Thieves gave too much info when they were faking and bluffing sites that Cloud9 was able to use minimal utility to confirm information, and then reacted on it instantly and accurately so often for fast rotates, and were always on sites ready for 100 Thieves. 100 Thieves not only doing that, which was a little bit of sloppy and hold play, also when they got on sites, oftentimes played very individualistically, not playing for trades, not working together very well, not systematic and layered on utility. Their site punches with the double initiated composition was not reliable or consistent, which is very shocking to me. And I feel like if you're going to run a double initiated composition, it's because you want your punch strength to be so much stronger as a team. But literally 1 dark cover or something very minimal for Cloud9 would completely route all of that utility that 100 Thieves tried using, because they didn't layer properly, they didn't systematically isolate, and they didn't work together as a team very well. So C9 had a very impressive and dominant half for defense. And on the offensive side of things, C9 did the opposite of Cloud9. They actually worked really well together. They isolated with smokes. When they gave bluffs, they sold it either to a hard to cause 100 Thieves to rotate a lot as well in the hard read. But then knowing that by Cloud9, then it would hard rotate and just kind of ankle break. Very impressive. We saw it towards the end there. Or they gave basically no info when they went to hit a site until the site hit actually happened, which would not give time for 100 Thieves to properly rotate on the map, which we saw in the earlier rounds. So overall, in the macro sense, 100 Thieves just falling behind. They were nowhere near the par, but they've also always looked really bad on Lotus anyway. I think it's just a map that they just don't understand how to play properly yet, which is a little surprising to me because it's been around for a while, like long enough by now. But we'll see how the next map goes, considering there should be a lot more experience on it, and it's the map pick.